Jen coming? Is Jen coming?
I don't know, haven't heard anything.
She's usually here.
I don't have an alternate.
Right. Oh, Bruce, I saw his. He was here.
He was here, but he's left. I also saw it close up. I came by it.
Cause I saw people there yesterday.
Really?
They must, whatever. But I can't, I'm just up and down the road.
Oh,
There you got a haircut, it's good.
yeah, my annual.
Is that your annual?
She barely gives me 2 haircuts a year now.
There you go. You know, you gotta stay on a budget.
I know.
At least you got.
I get that, yeah. I should record it. It's really fun.
Oh, what?
The
You're,
the whole conversation, it's just hysterical. Yeah, well, she is.
hey. What? Oh, we skipped, yeah, we skipped an extra week.
What's that?
Jen says it feels like it's been a long time because we had that extra.
Extra week.
Because of the month. of
Extra week off.
August. Yes.
Well,
Ready? We know.
okay, we get started then. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's meeting. I will seat regular members, Chris, Larry, Jolene, and Jennifer, and myself. And we'll go right into consideration of the minutes from the last meeting. Did anybody have any comments or questions? If not, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve regular meeting minutes from July 24th, 2014,
2024.
2024.
Again.
All in favor?
Okay.
Okay. Moving right
Wishful
along.
thinking, sorry.
With the site inspection report submitted by Chris for 274 Nettleton Hollow. Any comments or questions on that? Can I have a motion, please?
A motion to approve the July 30th, 2024 site inspection report for 274 Nettleton Holland Road, IW 24-45 submitted by Chris Gobble. Second.
All in favor? We have subsequent business. No? Okay, then we will move right on to pending applications. We have Mano. They are not ready to come to us with any plans. So I would ask somebody to make a motion to deny the application without prejudice because of lack of information.
Yes, I saw that on Chili's administrator report, yes. So I would make a motion in regards to Mano at 286 Litchfield Turnpike, IW 24-18 to deny this application without prejudice due to incomplete information.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, very good, thank you. Cardinal Engineering, Corey?
Yeah.
Hello, again, my name is Roy Seeley with Cardinal Engineering. Since our last meeting, made the revisions as requested. Just to go over it quickly. The first one is we added the existing system, septic system onto the plan. And note that it's gonna be removed and backfilled with granular fill. And I also added a similar note regarding the removal of the existing culvert. That once it's gonna be removed after being used as a bypass pipe, that too will have to be. Will have to be backfilled with granular fill and then the gravel driveway installed. The obvious thing is we removed the bioswale, as we talked about. So there'll be no disturbance between the new parking lot and the wetlands. And oh, I added a note to the drawing that no concrete washout will be allowed on the property. There's one thing I do want to note is that as reviewing the plan, we realized that the areas of disturbance were incorrect. They're actually less than what we had when we had our original disturbances. We included the area of all the riprap, even the upland riprap, not just the wetlands. So we revised the numbers to reflect the actual work within the wetlands itself.
Yes.
And the vegetative buffer is gonna be. Will be removed as much as possible. Is that still on there? Is that where we're gonna keep that vegetative buffer as much as possible, right?
Right, so
Yes,
we show the
yeah,
limited
yeah.
clearing
Yeah.
right up here now.
Okay,
Get to a minimum, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah, just removing like invasives and
Yep.
stuff. Okay.
well, there's still a little bit of grading required for the construction here.
mm-hmm,
So that's in the removal of the old wooden stair.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has everything that we.
everything that we asked,
Yeah, that we've
got the
reviewed.
revised division on the date. I think I'm good with it. So if somebody would like to make a motion to approve. 2 years,
2 years?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get the year right here. Motion to approve, application IW, dash 24 dash 18. Submitted by Mano at.
no,
two-
no,
Second one.
next one,
E.
next one,
Um. Oh, it's 286, yep. Let me start. over.
Cardinal Engineering,
Yep.
IW 2441.
Motion to approve IW 24-41, for, submitted by Cardinal Engineering for M2 Properties for the expansion of a parking lot, removal of fencing and stairway, reconstruction of culvert and new septic system, including force main. Per reference plan, it's plan -01, SED -01, WET -01. Date July 23rd, 2024, revised July 30th, 2024. This permit is valid for 2 years and is subject to the following conditions. One, that the land use office be notified at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of work, so that the wetlands enforcement officer can inspect and approve the erosion control measures. Two, that the property owner gives the contractor copies of both the motion of approval and the approved plans prior to the commencement of work. Three, the approval of this permit is conditioned upon the performance and completion of all proposed activities and or improvements in totality to the satisfaction of the Inland Wetlands Commission. There shall not be any modification of any kind to the plans and or scope / sequence of the proposed activities and or improvements shown on the approved plans without prior approval of the Inland Wetlands Commission or its designee. There are no other conditions. In approving this permit application, the commission has considered all of the relevant criteria pursuant to sections 11.02, 11A, and 12.08 of the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Regulations, and finds that the proposed regulated activities as presented on the plans and conditioned herein are not reasonably likely to lead to any significant adverse impacts on any wetlands and watercourses.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Corey.
Great,
You're all
thank you
set.
very much.
Yeah. You have copies of that one, Mike? Okay. Good evening.
Hello. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah.
They're all plugged up there.
Yeah, I know. There's so much room.
Okay, yeah, yep, go
For the
ahead.
record, Doug DeBessa, represent the applicant. At the last meeting, we were asked to provide a detail of the suction line at the north side of the bridge. And that's what we provide on sheet one. You'll see a detailed plan that shows a mafia block, which is going to hold the force main strapped down to that. That mafia block is only temporary. It'll come out once the work is done. Put stakes around the screened inlet of the suction pump. And we'll put a wire cage around that. I'm looking at maybe a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch openings and two layers of it, so it'll keep anything real small from getting sucked into it, into that area there. And that pipe will go around, as we talked about, along the west side of the pond and discharge below the existing dam. And those are the only things that we had outstanding.
So the mafia block is set in the water?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, just to keep it off the ground,
Yeah.
A mafia block is, like a yard of concrete.
Yeah.
Basically, so.
Any bodies in it?
Just,
I'm sorry.
You never know. Might-
Oh, I
might
couldn't
do it, yeah.
resist. The mafia, the term mafia block, right? Yeah.
You're just gonna lower that in with the excavator that you're already gonna have on site? Okay.
There's folks on them, so.
Yeah, yep.
Back in the
It
day.
might have been, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I couldn't cook.
Yeah.
Mafia.
Well,
I'm Italian, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
be careful.
So I guess, Larry, one of your questions was still the way the netting process is gonna be handled, correct?
Correct. That was, yeah.
And did we address that?
Well, we get to the last, I do have on the plan, on the first page of procedure to remove aquatic light. Anything that gets caught, we'll put into a bucket of pond water, bring it up to the north side of the bridge and discharge it on, let them loose on the uphill side. And then once we're done, then they'll flow back into the pond itself.
Mhm. These are a list of them. In the first, in the photo journal.
Oh,
Daily.
right.
And these are basically, and do we have the no mixing on here? Is that on here so we don't have to make it a condition?
What now?
Is no
We
mixing?
don't have any concrete on this project, do we?
No, but I mean, I did show, we talked about it earlier, I do have a washout area by the corral
It's
area.
way up here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
I'll set you up in review area
Okay.
and the parking area.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
right.
If any concrete, does it means we have an area for
You don't
it.
expect any,
No,
right?
no.
Right,
Right.
okay.
it was
Yeah,
part
get
of
rid of
our
stuff.
questions that we had
Yep.
there.
Yeah, well, good.
And I think we talked about last time, we're not gonna do it in August. We've had a lot of rain in August so far, so we're
Yeah.
talking September because the
Mhm.
also
The event.
has a big event right after Labor Day, so they want to keep everything pristine, so.
So what we can still do is, we're gonna have that as a condition for August, so we can just change that to September
Right.
as one of the conditions.
Mhm.
So these were. This was addressed, so that doesn't have to be
Right.
uh
This one though has to. be-
that one there, that
This
one there. In September and the 3 days, 3 to 4 days prior
Right,
for that.
Yeah.
And we can eliminate that.
right.
So I'm good with this, Larry. Any other
Yeah,
questions?
just the only other, I just wanted to know what's gonna happen here. When this water's being rerouted, and the exits here.
Right.
What is that gonna look like? Is that going,
There's a lot of rock there already,
okay.
so there's just a
Yeah.
So it's
splash
gonna
in
be
the
like
rock.
something hard?
Yeah, it'll
Okay,
just be
okay.
splash, it won't be causing erosion and stuff.
Okay,
I mean, we'll make sure it doesn't cause erosion.
okay,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of rock below that concrete.
Correct.
Yeah.
okay.
I was just there last week looking at the breakdown. So,
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of rock down there. so-
yeah.
That's revision.
There's revisions.
7:30.
Oh, there it is. That's the latest.
Eight, seven.
I'm going
Number three.
backwards.
Yeah, that-
Number three.
Yeah, usually,
You're upside down.
yeah, I'm upside down. That's why. I'm like, wait a minute. Glasses are almost too strong. My glasses are almost too strong.
Chris, you good?
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm all set.
Jen?
Yep.
Lori?
I'm fine.
Larry? Okay.
Yeah. And I think,
Yep.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Motion to approve application IW 24 42. Submitted by Devesta Engineering for Hollister House Garden at 300 Nettleton Hollow Road. For pond dredging. Per plans, drawing, let's see, Devesta Civil Engineering Drawing number 23-037, page 1 of 2 and 2 of 2, with latest revision date of August 7th, 2024. This permit is valid for 2 years and is subject to the following conditions. 1, that the land use office be notified at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of work, so the wetlands enforcement officer can inspect and approve the erosion control measures. 2, that the property owner gives the contractor copies of both the motion of approval and approved plans prior to the commencement of work. 3, the approval of this permit is conditioned upon the performance and completion of all proposed activities and or improvements in totality to the satisfaction of the Inland Wetlands Commission. There shall not be any modification of any kind to the plans and or scope, sequence of proposed activities and or improvements shown on the approved plans without prior approval of the Inland Wetlands Commission or its designee. 4, conditions to be as follows. Let's see, that the enforcement officer be present before pumping begins to observe the methods in place to protect the aquatic life. 2, that a photo journal be maintained throughout the week-long procedure to be submitted to the enforcement officer. 3, that the enforcement officer stop by the site daily to observe the proceedings. And 4, that the work will take place during the dry season in September and that there will have been no rain in the 3 to 4 days preceding the work. Is that it? In approving this permit application, the commission has considered all the relevant criteria pursuant to sections 11.02, 11A, and 12.08 of the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Regulations, and finds that the proposed regulated activities as presented on the plans and conditioned herein are not reasonably likely to lead to significant adverse impacts on any wetlands and watercourses.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too.
It's also a name. For those that we after, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, Sam?
Thanks, Sam.
Good evening.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Did you need these for, later? These were.
Yes.
You got. So Sam, we went out. and-
Sorry, I missed the,
That's
the
okay.
sidewalk.
We understand what happened there. We went out and we all had concerns of where the drainage is coming along the whole length of the area there. If you have your,
That wooded area,
the
right?
wooded area.
Yeah,
And
that-
we didn't think at that time that that was gonna stop any of the water coming into the area up in Fern, where the pipe is.
So your concerns that it's too far into this Our wood line, I think, is a little, the canopy is shown, might be coming out a little bit further. I went up there today after the rainstorm, took a couple of pictures, and our intent here, there's kind of you guys probably saw, there's kind of an existing stone swale that's kind of along that lawn area there. Or not an existing stone swale, excuse me, just an existing kind of rill that the contractors had dug out along the edge of the woodlands here. And our intention is basically just to put that, excavate that 8-inch stone line swale as we've shown on the plans, and just basically put it in the exact place that is, as basically like kind of a pressure release from all the water that's down there. I don't think we're ever gonna get this totally dry down there. I mean, at least the way things have been going with the weather we have. But at the same time, that would be, if we can get water moving out of that area right along the edge of the woods. Our intention was not to go deep into the woods. It's kind of, maybe it's shown on the plans, but was just essentially to use that edge of the woods and create a stone line swale that we can then grade the area to that. And then that would be able to get the water, moving towards the outlet at the stream. Right now, it was so wet. The impetus of this project was that it was so wet that they couldn't resolve this, get this stabilized down at that, landing down there. So, we were kind of racking our brains because there's not only the water from the creek, but there's the water kind of coming from across the street.
Yeah.
This big sheet flow down there. And so the thought was, we're not going to stop all that water from coming onto Edelstein's property, nor do we want to, ultimately it needs to go down to the creek. But if there could be some sort of pressure release valve that we can get that water moving, without totally disrupting the lawn, putting it at the edge, and then also not disturbing the woods edge, then we can, get the water moving, and we can have something to grade to where it's not just kind of back up in this area that's right along the woods edge and then kind of fill back up into the lawn area. They were able to, in between when we submitted this and, and today, they were able to get down there and seed it, which you probably had seen. There was some grass growing down there, thankfully. My direction to them was, let's just get this area stabilized as soon as possible. We can't leave it just exposed like this anymore with these, with the application open and with all the rainstorms we get. So that said, they they graded it the best they can, which obviously was not a very fine job. There's lots of kind of ruts, potholes and stuff like that, and put down a contractor mix, knowing that we were going to be disturbing this area for the construction access for the back deck, but just trying to get the area stabilized. Now, I still think that the swale kind of is prudent so that we can, there would always be an edge, but I could see the confusion there. We're not trying to push into the woods here. We're really just trying to push, just have this right along the edge, not disturb any tree roots as best we can, but essentially put it right along the best is essentially just right along that existing kind of little rill there was water moving down that today.
Here.
Yeah, I think it does kind of come up a little bit of ways.
Having anything marked and then, not seeing you there, I
Mhm.
think it's sort of.
Yeah, we're just going off of the woods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it was
and
concerning that it
seems-
was so.
I mean, there's definitely an issue too at the, in Nettleton Hollow where their driveway is.
Yeah.
Where there's all this, and it seems like with the existing drainage ditch that's there, right,
Mhm.
at the town.
The erosion, yeah.
That something needs to be done up there.
Yeah, I think it needs to be brought up higher in mind, because all that water was here.
Mm.
And you have your
You need to catch
drainage
it.
below it,
You're
we-
almost, right,
right? We all felt that it needed to come up a lot higher in order to dry
Interesting, okay.
that area out. I mean, we all thought that this whole drainage system was way too low and way too long. We thought you wanted to at least capture it and get it to go away from this area.
Could it
Because,
then dump into the culvert that's existing already, like,
well,
rather than ending at the bottom of the culvert, ending above it?
right, I don't know if we can get it to go that way, but I thought the pitch was. If you're at the top of the road, the pitch was to your left, right,
yeah,
towards the splash pad. what was, when you walked on
Yeah.
the splash pad,
Yeah,
it pitched
it's
more.
tricky.
Coming down off of the anti-track apron, you're saying that it's pitching this way.
Yeah.
Rather than towards the creek.
Right,
Mhm, mhm.
so, and that area that you're shown
Mhm.
where you're trying to get grass grown, where the excavator did go across, I mean, that's the area you're trying to dry out, and it almost
Right.
seemed, this almost seems futile to us.
Because the approach, we'd have something to grade to, and if those kind of those ruts and those low points were leveled out, then we'd be able to get the water moving across. I mean, the one thing now, to me, it did seem like that the culvert was working well. There wasn't, it didn't seem like it was overtopping or anything like that. Yeah, you know, that piece of the project is successful. It just seemed like all of this surface drainage, like you said, it's just coming down across, and then it's got nowhere to go and just kind of sits right here.
Yes.
At the base of the
Mhm.
slope. So that was my point. I mean, we might be able to, like, especially since we're bringing, doing this project over here, and there's, still some, a little bit of material that we could work with here. We could definitely kind of pitch this back as much as we can to the stream, although it did seem, it does seem a little bit as up gradient of that, and it does seem kind of like, the stream bank kind of comes up, and, we don't want to bring the stream bank down to, compromise and produce more overtopping, so it's a tricky grading.
Right, I mean,
Problem.
this shows that you're actually in the woods with this.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah, and that wasn't the intention there, I mean, it's obvious that we need to, it does outlet here. But it's obvious, your point is taken, Bob, that this, really needs to come right up at the edge of the woods, because the point is not to disturb any of the woodland down there and that kind of buffer
And
to
maybe
the
it doesn't,
river.
yeah, and maybe
to
it doesn't need
Springbrook.
to be quite as long
Right.
as you've drawn, and which would be helpful to everyone concerned, right?
And I would still think something going across, in front of that area before the dirt area to help it filter into here too.
Almost like a little bit of a berm, not even a berm, just a low grass swale, just to kind of get things moving in that direction.
Yes, I
Okay,
mean, it's almost like
I
a
think that's-
twofold.
right. So we have anything, it really is just kind of from that anti-track, I think a ton of water comes down that road because it's naturally
Yeah, no,
a
yeah,
funnel
it's
for the
wicked.
area. And so it's really kind of on the left side of that, as you're looking down towards Springbrook, creating some sort of broad swale that's mowable, just to keep the water kind of going in that direction.
Mhm.
And that would kind of capture it, and then maybe stopping this, whatever, this, obviously moving it uphill, but then stopping it somewhere, just kind of just almost straight downhill from that
And
access
it
way.
seems like that area, the grade sort of might speak to you, I mean, looking at it
Sure.
again,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Where there's a more natural path,
Mhm.
perhaps.
Where is the septic fields on that property?
The septic fields are
they
from
way
the
out?
record, they're way up on the other side, so there is a force main that kind of comes up. And then it's actually kind of on the edge of the woods, so this would.
How far,
Hmm.
does the septic fields need to be from the drainage so that we don't have any, leaching?
Yeah.
Into that, isn't there a distance that has to be?
I believe it's 25 feet for septic tanks and then the leach fields,
But I mean, you're putting in this drainage.
8 inches of stone, right, yeah,
Right, and
yeah.
how far does that have to be from?
From the main,
From the leach field,
man,
from the leach. Field.
the leach fields, I believe it's 25 feet, but I gotta check with,
So I think I
The health
would like to
department.
take that into consideration,
sure.
Yeah, look,
Chris,
Yeah.
Sam, if you, confirm the distance of.
the
where
septic
the
fields.
leaching
The
fields
separating distance between
And-
any drainage work that's going on and the actually leach to the leach fields, okay.
And how long do we really need to have that 150 feet? I mean, does that need to be 150 feet? Because
No,
I'm
I
just trying to
think
keep,
based on what Sam was just discussing, that maybe we don't need any of that at all, and that could be addressed a little differently,
that's what I'm,
Mhm.
right,
right?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, really, it could be even just opposite of the anti-track apron. I mean, I know the owner, he just wants to make this mowable down there. If it's wet after a rainstorm, he's not expecting to make a putting green or anything like that down there. It's just to make it that he can maintain it. And, you know,
Mhm.
right now, it's a lot firmer down here than it was, but I tend to agree with you. I mean, it does continuously stay wet all the way to the edge of the lawn down there, but that's gonna work its way kind of down the stream. It's not creating any erosion.
Right.
So I think, you know, the owner would be amenable to just dealing with the issue here so that we can create this kind of, you know, very stable access way to get down to his, I mean, this is really kind of the lawn area that he uses the most, is right down kind of along the
Right.
brook, just going to sit down next to the,
Right.
to the brook. So I think we could easily probably cut that down to 75 feet.
Right,
You know,
and
cut it
keep
in
the
half.
disturbance towards Frame Brook.
Sure.
Into a minimum.
Sure.
Can I see those pictures for things?
Yeah, yep.
I'm trying to picture the space of it.
It looked like they got a lot more rain than I did in Bethlehem.
It poured here for now.
Weird little pocket.
Well, and then you're also at the bottom.
Under here, right?
You know, there's. a
Running this
hill.
way, the
Yes,
culvert?
exactly, yeah, so
Yeah.
that's that kind of rill that's going there. And so the idea with that stone line sewer would be here, but I think like Bob's point is
Something to
creating
catch
a
all
little bit
that.
of a swale and get it going in the right direction. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That makes
So you
sense.
want it to go toward that buffer edge and then run.
Yeah,
Even if you have to line
I
it
don't-
with
Kick it that
stone,
way.
Sam.
right,
And then
what's
run
that?
that.
Even if you have to line that soil with stone, to help it.
Sure. I mean, that I think is either or. If the stone, we could bring it up more level and then they could just run the mowers over it
Mhm.
to make, you know, keep it maintained rather than having that kind of a
Right,
hump. in the lawn.
exactly.
Maybe that's better.
Yeah,
I
given,
think the stone would be.
given, yeah, especially given the amount of water that
Absolutely.
seems to, and lately
Mhm.
the storms, you know, you get how many inches in, 20 minutes or something
Mhm.
ridiculous.
And we can save a whole lot here by taking 75 feet off. this.
Absolutely, yeah, just minimizing the disturbance and we're eventually creating a little bit of a bowl here so that it's going where it should naturally, rather than just kind of spilling out into that whole area. I mean, what you were saying, Julian, I think is right. We're gonna have to come back with a separate application just to deal with this drainage issue. I haven't talked to Gordon about it. But I mean, I imagine we're gonna have to do some sort of boulder wall there. There's just an intense amount of water that comes down into his driveway. That
Yeah,
garage is in
it's
a
crazy.
really tough spot.
No, it is.
Serious erosion.
Yeah, so I think we're definitely gonna have to come back
Yeah.
ultimately to fix that, because he's losing half of his driveway, but.
Yeah.
But. That's another application, the idea with, I think all this makes sense to me. You know, as far as kind of like minimizing the construction impacts and then,
Mhm.
you know, getting the water going in the right direction. It's a tricky grading. You know. Practice down there. It's not easy, but I think that seems like the best approach. And then we'd be kind of lifting this up as well on the plan.
There's a natural swale in here in this wooded area anyway, right?
The wooded area.
The wooded area
Yeah.
comes up.
Right, yeah.
like a
That's,
bump,
I think the
right?
big problem is it kind of just hits that and then just stays on the edge of the
Yeah,
lawn and then
you've
kind of just
created like
backs
this little
up.
bowl there.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah.
Um,
Okay, well, I'll come back to you with that on the plan.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, then hopefully we can get that.
And maybe we'll
resolved.
get some dry weather.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And
All right, sounds
Thank you.
good. Thanks, everyone.
And when you come back, it won't throw through the trees anymore.
Right, yeah, I'll leave that, you know.
Which
does
is-
outlet
which is the
there.
not- Is it the tree line that is inaccurate on the plan, or is it where you wanted the drainage? I guess that's the part I'm trying.
I can't really say. We took the tree line, I think, off of Google Maps, because this is from the septic's all from a Brian Neff plan, so that might be the tree line might be a little bit off there.
Okay,
Because it definitely outlets, obviously, right at the end of this. You know, the new culvert, but I think it quickly comes back up the hill. and then
Yes, yeah.
follows there. So it's just, I think it's represented a little bit wrong there.
You'll fix it.
Yeah. Darren, I'm working with Darren and Cardinal. Oh, sorry.
No,
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay.
It's not 236, the Broadus property.
Mhm.
He couldn't be here tonight. I understand you guys are just accepting it, but if there was any information you wanted to pass along to him or questions or anything like that, he asked me just to stick around. Luckily, it's right next to the Edelstein's application, so.
Well, what I'll do is, it's complete. Okay,
All right.
okay, so under new one, new applications.
Yeah.
We have Cardinal Engineering from Veranda, 236 Nettleton Hollow Road. I will accept the application tonight and we'll schedule a site walk for next week. The 20th.
Bob, I'm out of town next week and.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
vacation,
that's
I
fine.
apologize.
Yep.
20th is best for me. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. So we will schedule 236 Nettleton Hollow Road for August 20th at 4 p.m.
Great.
And
Excellent.
just have all the information.
I'll pass that along to him, and I'm sure you can, will send over to him. Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Okay, Sam.
Okay.
Okay, next application would be Arthur Holland for Ilago, 164 Rush drainage improvements. I'll accept this application tonight. Do we have somebody up there?
I think Paul's.
Paul,
Hey guys, how's it going?
would you like to tell us a little bit about what you'd like to do, Paul?
Yeah, we're proposing some drainage up behind the house on the opposite side of West Shore Road from the lake. And then we're proposing to level a multiple level terraced area and turn it into a pervious area on the lake side. So if you want to schedule a site walk, I'll stake everything out and show you guys in person.
Okay, very good. We can do that right after 5 o'clock.
On the 20th?
Yes, 5 o'clock on the 20th at 164 West Shore Road.
Sounds great. There's parking on the opposite side of the lake. There's a garage right there.
Great. Thanks, Paul. We'll
All
see you then.
All right. Have a great night, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Under other business, what I would like to talk about is a vice chair. And as you know, Bruce is an alternate now and can no longer be our vice chair going forward. So what I would like everybody to do for the next month is to think about wanting to be a vice chair. Or two, if you don't feel that you want to be, think about one of the other four that you would want to nominate to be a vice chair going forwards. The September meeting, I will not be here, so one of you who, if you feel up to it, would chair the meeting on that particular meeting, and we will take a vote for that at the last meeting of September.
Okay, so you're not here for
The first meeting in September.
Okay,
So, but just think about it. There's really not that much involved, you know, it would be, if I'm not here helping Shelley, it would be also to chair the meetings when I'm not here, or possibly having to go out if you hear something from Tammy to go out and check a site if there needs to be an emergency. And probably be CC'd on some of the emails as well. And that's all I have to say on that. So think about it and go from there. Everybody saw the enforcement report? Okay, very good. Did we have any administrative business?
no.
Okay, and we have in communications, we have letters. I believe you all saw the letters from the community of Popple Swamp Four Corners. So we acknowledge receipt of that letters for tonight.
I was at the meeting as well, so I was there in person, so.
Oh, the planning meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, very good. That's all I have. Does anybody have anything else? If not, we will motion to adjourn.
Can I ask one quick question?
We actually don't
We-
allow public comment in the wetlands meetings because they're not public hearings.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Back to the sidewalks.